YouTube, what going on, man? It's your boy Groovy tapping in with y'all boys, man. And welcome back to another vid, man. Come on, man. Salute to the OGs, man. Salute to my young bulls that's watching the video, man. In today's video, I got a banger, a big banger for my MJ lovers out there, man. As y'all can see, though, y'all see what I'm rocking, man. I'm rocking my GOAT, LBJ, man, King James. I know I gotta represent, man, for the new school. But in today's video, my OG's gonna love this one, man. As a LeBron fan, I am reacting to 2 hours of Michael Jordan stories told by NBA legends. Spam up the like button, man. We about to sit through this whole video and just admire and enjoy these Michael Jordan stories told by other NBA legends, man. It's gonna be a banger right here, man. So, yeah. Before we hop into the vid, like the video, man. Comment down below any OG hoopers y'all want me to react to next. And last but not least, subscribe, man. Now let's hop straight into this 2-hour video of Michael Jordan stories, man. Get your popcorn, take your socks off, kick your feet up, man. Get you a bev, and let's enjoy it, man. Let's hop straight into it. Let's get it, man. Get some homework done, man.
Hey guys, this is Dominique Wilkins.
Hey, this is Sean Kemp.
This is Gary Payton.
Hey, this is Pau Gasol.
NBA fans, what's up? This is Vince Carter here.
Hey, what's up?
2 hours though, y'all.
If you're an old school NBA fan like I am, make sure you check out the Basketball Time Machine with my man Sean David.
Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Basketball Time Machine. My name is Sean David. Thanks for tuning in. Let's talk some old school NBA basketball. Now, as you know, every once in a while I have to post a Michael Jordan video, and I thought, okay, now recently, like 3 or 4 months ago, I posted a very long XXL version of NBA Legends talking about Michael Jordan. And you know what? Let's have the largest and longest Michael Jordan video ever on YouTube. In this video, you will find like hundreds of clips of NBA Legends talking about Michael Jordan, and also new clips that you probably haven't seen before.
Let's get it.
I spent almost like 2 weeks to find those clips, but I think it was worth it. So sit back, relax, and enjoy yourself listening to the GOAT and NBA Legends talking about it. Enjoy.
Come on, man. Let's get it.
Now the first NBA player that we're going to take a look at is James Worthy, former teammate of Michael Jordan when they were playing for North Carolina. And usually when he goes on NBA shows, he has the same stories, but this time he talks about what he thinks what Michael Jordan's peak was, and yeah, what changed when Michael Jordan got his teammates involved. Let's hear what he has to say.
In the early 90s. It was, I'm not going to say it was overdue, but the timing was good for Michael because he realized, you know, he couldn't do it all by himself. You know, I think Michael, he knew about team at Carolina, but I don't think he really mastered it until guys like Horace Grant, Pippen, guys like that. Cartwright was a big part of, you know, the conversations with Michael. He had to learn through the Pistons, really. But once he got past that, and once Phil was in place, and he trusted his teammates.
It was raps.
Trusted Paxson and Kerr and those guys. He was driven. He would drive them, but yeah, all those guys made him better. They enhanced his game, and that's why they started to win. Now, Lakers were done, Boston was done, Detroit was kind of over. Hakeem Olajuwon did what he did, but the league was, you know, was right.
These highlights
for Michael. Utah was still there. He had some challenges, but once he tasted the honey, he wanted some more. That's where he is.
He won 2 chips with no All-Star.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wait, he won 2 chips with no All-Stars?
That's it for him. He's like locked in. It's like golf for him. Once he gets locked in, that's it. And I've never seen one player that challenges everybody like
It's crazy.
in your face.
And the next player that we're going to take a look at is Jaylen Rose, who obviously played many times against Michael Jordan, especially when he was playing with the Indiana Pacers, a very much underrated team back in the day. And yeah, he talks about what it was like
Jaylen
guarding
Rose always
MJ.
getting buckets
And
on him,
who we got
bro.
the task from? Oh, yeah.
Kobe
Legend.
dropped 81
Let's
on
see what
him.
Jaylen has to
Larry
say.
Joe Bird looks at Jaylen Rose, and he like,
He was a good player, though.
your role right now is to go guard number 23. And I was like, oh, okay, that's a huge responsibility. You know what I'm saying? First off, like serious? Like, oh, you trusted me with that? That's awesome. Okay. But then I didn't read the fine print. And that was, if he score on you twice, then I'm taking you out. Like straight up. If he score on you twice. Now just think about it. When you talk about greatest players and scorers of all time in the NBA,
That
what do you
player
rank
always
them?
get me.
You're number 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Right. So your coach tells you now, because this is my role. See, people see me later in my career when I was basically washed and playing against Kobe. And by the way, he's top 10 all time as well. In this series, that was my role. I actually played good defense on Michael Jordan. Because I knew in my head, if he scored on me twice in a row, I was out the game. That was the rule.
Hold up. I have a follow-up question. What I would have said to Larry Joe Bird, were I in your position, I'd be like, does it count if I foul him? Is that twice in a row? Does that count?
That's a good
Does
point.
that count if I foul him?
That's a good
Does
point.
that count? I don't think that counts, Coach. I don't think that counts.
I'm glad you went there, sir. You ready for this? That documentary is about 1998. And I guarantee you, in a lot of those games, I had a lot more fouls than points. That's exactly what I was doing, Jacoby.
Who is the GOAT basketball player in your opinion?
Michael Jordan. Period.
I don't need the laughter, y'all.
I get it. Everybody says LeBron James and Kobe Bryant. The young gonna say
Younger generation gonna say Bron, Kobe.
because they know he hasn't seen Michael Jordan.
I've seen Mike.
For sure.
I haven't seen as much Mike as y'all.
Yeah.
Whatever meeting y'all came together and had as y'all generation to say Michael Jordan just never had a mistake made on the basketball court is unbelievable to me.
And that's the only reason why, in my opinion, I like Bron over Mike. It's just the simple fact that I haven't seen Jordan growing up. I was born in 98. I just have not seen Michael Jordan play. But seeing the highlights that I'm watching now and hearing the stories, I can see why y'all got him number one, bro. He was a dog.
It's closer than what y'all making it seem between LeBron and Michael Jordan. It's closer. It's not.
He like close.
I say it's not because of the competition level, and I'm not.
So it was
not-
better
LeBron is
competition
one of
back
the best
then or
ever
now?
to play the
Y'all let me
game,
know in the
but
comments.
When you run around different teams, play with this guy, play with that guy. Mike never did that. Never did that.
Valid point.
He stayed and got Pippen, but other than that, it was just some. They were good players, but LeBron James, Kobe stayed 20 years with the Lakers. LeBron, he's always running around playing with Wade,
Bosh.
Chris Bosh. They won.
Kyrie,
And,
Kevin Love.
Kevin
oh
Love.
yeah, Kevin Love. You just.
Valid point.
Michael and or
Yes.
Sam, whoever they were senior leaders and junior leaders, they picked the team. And the first day, you as a freshman, you're just sitting because they're not picking you. So you get on the court and end. So about a week later, Michael's picking and he's like, I got New York. They used to call me New York. Like, I got New York. It's like, oh shit, I got picked first. He's like, first, it's 20 pros in the gym.
Yeah, official.
I was like, oh, it's
means something.
I was like, so my confidence was boosted. So now we playing, right? And we winning games. And so every time we win, you go get water. And I'm watching Mike, and he's standing in the middle of center court. I'm like, I'm like, yo, what are you doing? He's like, I want the motherfuckers to know that I'm never leaving the court. I'm gonna be the first to stand here and the last.
He a dog.
I was like, all right, so we both gonna stand here. I was like, this is what we
Mike
doing.
a dog, bro.
This is what we doing.
He's so competitive, bro.
I mean, he was the first dude that I met that could back up his trash. Like every day. Every day.
Always a talker?
Always a talker and always backed it up though. Like, and he really took more pride, especially then his defense. He's like, Walter Davis, you're not scoring today. You're not scoring today, Walter Davis. Like that's the type of energy he was on all the time. And when he got to the league, so we had dorms and our dorm numbers don't change. So if you had dorm number 8, it's the same phone number next year. You're just a different person. So all of when he comes in town, this is before the Instagram and you'd hear the phones go, bring, one, and somebody hang up, bring, and you just hear it going down. So it's him, and all he say is, school's in session, boom. School's in. So everybody come in the hallway and be like, Mike's here, Mike. So he'd go and he'd call each room to let her know, come to the gym.
School's in
session. So the gym would be packed. We'd have 4,000 people watching our pickup games.
Damn.
Michael and I had this conversation recently. He said, okay, now that you're retiring, you can come out with me and play golf. I said, no. He said, you're gonna have to play golf. Yeah, not with you though. I've been playing since college. Like, you wanna get me out there and just kill me. Like, no, I'm not a golfer. I'm not gonna play. I'm a realist.
You know, Ron Harper used to give Michael the numbers. MJ, we're in a practice. Phil said, tell him to go home, and he didn't know why, and he waited. And he was like, all right, we're playing for minutes, scrimmage for minutes. And MJ came in, nah, you ain't putting me out. And he had on regular tennis shoes. They looked like Vans, but they were Nike. He had his sweats cut and rolled at the bottom. You know, he thought he was fly. He wasn't. You know, you don't say nothing to the Messiah. And he was like, yeah, put all the Pistons on that team, Wood Harp, and Harp was pissed. And we're playing. All of a sudden, I'm running back, and MJ gets a steal. And he's about to do the right-hand jump. I said, oh, I know exactly what dunk you're going to try. I'm getting this. I don't care. Drop, step, and turn around, about to jump. And as I'm about to jump, his midsection is moving past my face. And you know, you try to bring yourself down. He's like, block this, bitch.
Ooh, and he talking crazy.
Took the job as head coach of the Bulls. You came as the assistant. I got drafted, and I got the phone call that you were going to be the coach. Talk a little bit about what that experience was coming from an assistant to head job, and then what changes you had to make when you went from that role.
Doug kind of relied on me to fill out the defensive forums and lead the team in discussion. I came in at the same time with Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant. I had a relationship with a couple of rookies that turned out to be super players for the Bulls. I was a systems coach. The idea that we needed to have something more than individual plays was, I think, really the trial. And it was through using a system that allowed for other people to be featured in an offense. Telling Michael Jordan that, hey, we're going to run a system. You're not going to be a scoring champion. And he said, you mean it's going to be equal opportunity in offense? I said, yeah, well, everybody's going to be part of the offense. So what happens when the 24-second clock runs down and Bill Cartwright has the ball in his hands?
And the next clip that we're going to take a look at is from Reggie Miller. And just a little recommendation from my side.
I like Reggie Miller
That
stories.
clip is taken from a segment called, I think, Reggie Miller Hall of Fame Career. I think it's on YouTube like for over 10 years. And it goes on for 20 minutes, and it's super interesting. Obviously also talking about Michael Jordan. And just the rivalry between MJ and Reggie Miller, I loved it. And what I really like about Reggie Miller, he always comes clean, always says that he was jealous of Michael Jordan. He wanted to have what MJ had, and I like that about him. He keeps it 100. So let's have a look.
Michael Jordan, what do you remember about playing him when you guys were on the floor and he was guarding you and you were guarding him, and they had, I'm sure, some terrific shootouts over the years between just the two of you?
You know, looking back over 18 years, you'd have thought that Michael and I, the Bulls and the Pacers, would have played more than once in the playoffs. We only played once, and it was that epic 7-game series. You're measured by your competition. He is clearly, and in my opinion, the best basketball player I've ever seen to date. And I knew that I had to bring it each and every time I stepped on the court when I was going against MJ.
Were you friends?
No.
Oh. Damn, Jordan was playing with him. Oh. Tempers flaring.
It's handed out all over the place here. But more
Hell no, boy. Jordan was not going.
ignited this.
We weren't friends.
Talk to each other on the floor?
He might have been the one player I didn't talk to.
Really?
Yeah. Because he might have been the one player who could really embarrass you.
And he could come back at you pretty good, too.
Yeah, he could come right back at you. I wanted what he had. Him being the best, the championships. So I watched, I listened.
6-0, that's tough.
And I tried to learn a lot by playing against him.
And what did you learn? What couple things you took away from what he did or how he played or how he acted?
He is cut from the same mold as Magic Johnson. And when I say that, and Larry
Face
Bird,
up, Jay.
all three of those players, win by any means necessary. And they will do whatever it takes on the court to win a game.
And you adopted that.
I tried to adopt that, yeah. You had to be textbook when you played the Bulls and you played against Michael.
Swept by the 90s in 97 by the 69 win Bulls. What was Mike like in his focus in that team at that time?
Mike is Mike. Like,
Plain and simple.
Mike is Mike.
Swept.
I remember, I don't know if he gave us a 50 piece, I think, or maybe 40 something. And I'll never forget Cal Cheney being like distraught. And he walked in another room like after the game. I was like, man, get out of there, man. Come on in here, man. We good. But you know, Mike is Mike. Mike is Mike. Mike was able to dominate when he needed to and how he wanted to. And, you know, Mike was a mismatch. We know that.
Yeah.
Scotty, when did you first learn that Michael was sick?
Well, we all knew kind of
Legendary
at
game,
our morning
flu game.
sort of get together. Wasn't really a shoot around, but we would meet and just have breakfast together. So we all knew, and it was kind of thrown up in the air whether or not Michael would be playing. But
So you guys thought he might not play?
yeah, well, some of the guys did.
Right.
But,
Yeah, he knew he was gonna play. He couldn't miss that game.
but it was one of those situations where really it was a 50-50 chance that he may or may not play. But knowing Michael like I did and the years that I had spent with him, I kind of knew he was going to make an effort. And, you know, come game time, you know, he showed up, he was on the bus and pretty much did his same routine. You know, you could see that he was real sluggish and laying around. So I just felt like I'm going to have to give him a little bit of a lift to get through this one tonight.
We saw in the highlight, and Stu Scott says that you know you were very aggressive early. That you knew that you had to sort of set the tone because he would not be able to in the same.
Yeah, I did, and you know I could just see it in his eye. He was weak, and you know I just wanted to be more offensive minded and stay aggressive. I got on the post and was. You know, trying to do the things that I could to keep us going early, and knowing that Michael, you know, he had always been our closer. So I knew down the stretch I was going to need some of that Jordan to come out and some of his heroics. And, you know, it was just one of those games where he finally was able to find himself and, you know, get that second win. And
to have the flu and have the game that he had,
it was one of those games
crazy,
that
bro. Respect,
you just wanted
bro.
to be a part of. You just
I done had the flu
forget
before.
how he
it don't feel good.
Was
feel
able
like
to
you about to
find
die.
such energy and such desire.
The fact that he went out there and hooped
that game for
You
us.
think
while
of
having the
Jordan,
flu.
you think about the dunks.
Crazy.
You were a shooter.
Our games were vastly contrast. You know?
yeah.
His was more power, dunking. Mine was more shooting, finesse. But for some reason,
Reggie Miller was cold.
I think my style at times irritated him because I was in constant motion.
Nice lady.
He used his power to control players and to keep them where he wanted them.
He had great torque. I
Yes,
always
he
thought,
did.
Just the way
And let me say this about Michael. Probably, if not one of the smartest basketball players. You know, you talk about his ability to be athletic and all that, but he was a very smart basketball player.
He thought the game through.
Yes, yes.
You thought the game
And he knew what your weaknesses were, and he tried to exploit them.
McKee gets it in the middle for the win.
Because that was another game where I felt that we had let slip away because Michael was being Michael and dominating, along with Scotty and Dennis. There wasn't a lot of time left on the clock. At the time, Ron Harper was guarding me, and I knew Michael was going to switch off when I came up top. And I said to myself, well, they're not going to call offensive foul. So when I came up, I was just so upset that we had let this game slip away from us I basically just shoved Michael. I just pushed him out of the way, daring the officials to call offensive foul because I was so upset.
That was an offensive foul.
And when I didn't hear the whistle and I had so much space and I went off to my left and Derek threw me the basketball.
Good shot,
Now
though.
you just go into mechanics.
In motion. Good shot. Too much time, though. Too much time on the
If I had
clock.
known that I had that much space, I probably would have shot it differently and probably missed it. But I assumed he was right on my tail. So catch, release, and let it go.
My boy is excited as hell.
The rest is history.
Michael looking back at him, he flashing that glove sign. He didn't like that shit. That's the shit. That's the shit. That's the shit there. That's you get Michael going, man. When you see that look right there,
trouble.
Oh, you got some problems coming, man. Because now he don't want to talk to you. Now he got something to prove to you. You got another problem.
You get a chance to know Mike off the court?
Not so much off the court, but definitely
battles on the
court, man. Definitely battles on the court. I respect him. I got a lot of mad respect for the man. You know,
man.
I've seen people be physical with Mike. I've seen him have a game plan to stop him. He altered his game plan every night. You couldn't stop him. When we played Mike in the finals, we was trying to engage with him a lot, man. We really wanted him.
Physicality.
We wanted physicality. We wanted to. We was trying to test him, but he wasn't
going for it.
He wasn't going for it. He was focused.
For future references on this Knuckleheads podcast, if we ever mention him, Jay, the GOAT, the best, the greatest, we ain't talking about nobody but Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Baby.
That's it.
Ain't no question.
No, don't get it misconstrued. We don't want to do this every time.
That's my hero. Like, that's my guy. Like, I ain't no sucker, man. I can't help what I love and what I care about.
That's how you know he
means
one of the
something to
GOATs,
me
bro. If
who
not the
created
greatest.
Allen Iverson, like, he helped
You got all
create
these
Allen
NBA
Iverson. I love that motherfucker.
Players
You know what I mean?
looking
Like,
up
I
to this
love
one
Michael
guy.
Jordan.
We used to always say, okay,
Legendary,
we ain't gonna
bro.
let Jordan get 50 on you. But he did.
Damn.
Yeah, I
Put the
came
tongue
up,
out.
like, who was the people? Who was the one person or a few people that y'all looked at and was like, I want to be like that person?
MJ was always somebody I wanted to, like, every kid wanted to be MJ, right?
Everybody try Michael Jordan. Jordan, of course, was number one on the list.
I used to love Jordan like we all did. You know what I'm saying?
We watch Michael
Al
Jordan. We want to
Harris, Nate
emulate
Robinson.
him. We watch all these
These
greats.
are all
What made y'all like be like
good
okay,
basketball players, bro.
I really want
That's looking up to this dude,
is my
man.
dream. I'm going for.
Simple
Crazy.
for me, bro. I was watching MJ every day. I legit, that's, you know, a lot of people say that, and they, you know, nah, that's the real true life story for me. I was watching MJ growing up here in Chicago, WGN sitting on my floor, watching the greatest to ever do it. Like,
Damn,
I'm
I wish
like,
I could-
want to be like
could've
Mike.
saw
for real.
MJ
like,
play.
and I'm going out in the hall, in the driveway, in the alley, trying to mimic the moves and doing all of that. And to the point where, you know, when you get a little bit older and you start, you know, seeing what's really going on, you're like, I want to hoop.
Who was the first person when you got to the league to bust your ass?
Y'all know that motherfucking MJ. it was some bullshit. I didn't know it was him.
He said some
What was he
bullshit.
saying to you guys throughout this, you know, early in the game, leading up to the game?
You know what? Michael wasn't saying much. He just had this look like he was living in his own world. And then, you know, he wasn't even being
38?
aggressive offensively as the Michael that I have
had
known
the
or
flu?
come to know. But throughout
Damn.
the game, you could just see he started to feel it a little bit. And as always, once he started to feel it, we just
Give him the
flooded
ball.
with the basketball.
Oh,
But,
God.
you know, he was very quiet. Didn't say much when he went to the bench. He was just kind of in his own world. And for guys who've never played with Michael, I've played with him, so I've seen these moments where he kind of shunned everybody out.
Right.
And that was one of those moments where he was just trying to gather himself and just you know, stay in the game. We thought at any moment he may go to the locker room or puke up on the floor, but
Right.
He
It's
does
happening
now.
in the
And
NBA,
you know,
friends.
you can see in these photos that I didn't care if he puked up on
Right.
me. You know,
We're like, let's go.
get it
Well,
done,
here, so
boy.
these pictures. I asked the guys to pull the still pictures because
Legendary,
there's sometimes
man.
where video is better, obviously, but sometimes I love it when the still picture just captures the moment. You
Legendary.
basically carrying him off the floor. What was? Tell me
Well,
what
it was
felt
easy.
like.
You know, he carried me for like 11 seasons.
Very good.
But it was great. You know, me and Michael, we had a special bond, and you know, we had been together for so long, and you know, it was just one of those games where it was one of the most important games of our careers. And
I mean, he's clinging to you in this moment. I've never seen him. I've never
like he
seen him
about to
like
pass
this.
out
You
on
know
the
what?
floor.
I felt that at some moment he didn't really know where he was at. He didn't
Really?
know what he was doing or what was going on, because I think he was probably medicated a little bit and trying to, you know, fight the bug. And
Scotty and his Hawk.
That's tough,
And his
bro.
Dennis and his
38.
me, and I think Randy Brown. And, you know, I'm in the small cubby hole in the corner. And MJ said, "Sal, what kind of shoe you wear?" I said, "Oh, Nike." He said, "Oh, what's your size?" I said, 15. And he looked at the shoes I had brought in from Toronto and was like, "Oh, okay." And I'm thinking, why? Okay. Next day I get in, my locker is full to where I can't sit down.
Oh.
The whole locker is stacked with Nikes no one else has yet. And only Alonzo Mourning wears 15. So I got them before Alonzo got them because they came in red and black. I was so happy. I was like, yo, you are the man. You know, he doesn't even understand the way I think about sneakers. It's like, I was like, I would hug you.
So let me set the stage. It's 2003, All-Star Game. It's in Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Tell me.
So 2003 in Atlanta, MJ's last All-Star game. And it was, I was...
Janae and I were on our way to grade school.
Same with me.
The NBA, if you would, kind of encourage, hey, it's probably a good idea that MJ starts in his last game. That was a no-brainer for me, but, you know, you go through all the protocols. And I remember walking in All-Star, you know, all of the festivities. You know how All-Star Weekend is. This is bananas. And MJ's in the back doing what MJ does with Ahmad and all those guys. And I walk in and I said, hey, MJ, you know, it's your last All-Star game and everything. You're going to start. He said, no, you earned it. I said, no, you don't hear me. You're going to start, because I didn't want to get blackballed. I didn't want the NBA and the world like, how is Michael Jordan not, Yeah, how is he not starting his last All-Star game?
Yeah.
So he's like, no, you earned it. Go ahead. So I go back in, get dressed, and I'm like, man, there's no way. So I go shoot, and right here, that conversation right there is where I'm telling him, and he's telling me, he's like, you earned it. I said, you're going to do it. So I said, MJ, look here. I am going to walk into the back of the locker room during starting lineups, because I'm not, you're going to start. I'm not about to get blackballed. So I started walking in the back, and they call him out. Boom, he walks out, starting lineup, and everything good. Right here, you see patented MJ fadeaway over Sean Marion. I mean, if you notice right here, nothing but net. We tried our best. We're yelling to stop the game right there. It was like 7 seconds, I think. We're just like, stop the game.
Yep.
Well, rest in peace to Kobe Bryant. Being Kobe Bryant, he wanted to win the game. So he gets the ball out of a timeout. He gets fouled by Jermaine O'Neal, hits both free throws, and we lose.
Damn, they lost.
Oh my
We
God.
ended up losing that game.
Look at
But
the smile on
it was
his face,
memorable
ruined the
just watching
moment.
MJ for the last time in the All-Star game. And, you know, I grew up watching MJ and shooting the fadeaway, and he hits it right there in that moment, All-Star game. We were like, NBA, this is it. This is how you close in error in an unbelievable career from MJ. But
Straight bud.
So that's MJ.
That's a good story.
Mike, like, damn, what kind of cologne you got on? It smell good too.
Yeah, I was talking shit to him in preseason. You know, I didn't know that they don't play in preseason.
Right.
So I'm killing him. Had about 21. He played about 7 or 8 minutes. Then all of a sudden, we got to play him in the first game of the regular season.
Hit the first 3 buckets, 6 points. Now he got 14 points in the first quarter. Coach called a timeout. Paul Silas said, hey, y'all just gonna sit and watch homeboy over here getting fried? Couldn't even get off the fact that, like, what kind of cologne he was wearing, you know what I mean?
And I get quick 2 fouls, man, with 4 minutes,
starstruck.
man. I sit down, man, I'm got 35,
Damn.
7, 10.
35?
bro. I remember. I literally
42.
After the
Damn,
game, he's like,
42?
Welcome to the NBA.
We playing. Michael posted me
Ron
up. You can't let
Artest,
Michael
good
get the
defender.
ball. At this point, he's the best player in the league. Then I hit him in the ribs. And I broke his ribs by mistake.
Ooh.
Right, Mike hit me up. Hey, who's this? Mike who? Michael Jordan. Oh, shit. And he says, yo, it's all right, man. Don't worry about it. It happens, you know? And I was like, oh, all right, cool. And I went back to play.
Initial thoughts on MJ and how did you guys build your friendship that still lasts to today?
I guess, like I said, when I got there and just when the season started, just my work habit and, seeing that I was dedicated, I didn't take nothing for granted, always on point. And, when you're young, they're going to test you. And knowing the plays, knowing, staying afterwards, getting your work in. So I was always about work. So when somebody seen you work, I mean, in game then, I didn't play a lot early, but when I got in, I knew how to play, rebound, outlet, set picks, just, I wasn't looking for them to give me nothing. I was just working. But we just got cool. Probably got more cool because we was somewhere and MJ and a guy got into it. I mean, it was like it was real messy. So it was about a bill. So the guy told MJ, you a rookie, you did that. Why don't you pick the check up? MJ, nigga, you get a check too. Fuck that, you pick it up. So they went at it and that. So it was like a lot of tension. So they almost got in a fight. And I'm like, man, man, y'all need to cut it out, this and that, man. He get a check. You been in the league before me. So it was a lot of that. And, they got all them guys out of there and took 2 or 3 years. But then he got to start running the team his way. And you see what happened.
I come to All-Star every year. And we take these pictures. And usually, like, when I was younger, it'd be Bron and Kobe. And they would be the ones talking, kind of leading the room. But this time, it was like Magic, Kareem. We walk out of the room where we take the big picture. You see MJ walking towards us. He wasn't even in there for the big picture.
He just got there.
He just got there. He's walking, and there's more cameras on just him by himself than it is on all of us. And it was like, that's when you really saw the difference of like, man, this dude the GOAT. Like when he was walking, everybody was just staring at him. He was walking up to over the whole situation.
Feel the aura,
Just
boy.
showing respect and appreciation for the era you played in. I got one of Magic, I got Moses, Michael. I mean, look, these were the guys I competed against, man. I mean, this is what basketball was all about. So I'm just paying respect to these guys.
Wow. MJ.
First time I played against Michael was in college, where he was a freshman. And the game went back and forth, close game all the way through. In the last 2 minutes, this young kid named Michael Jordan took over. He won the game for him. And I said, he gonna be a hell of a player, as a freshman. His attitude, his mentality, he was a killer. He wanted to take your heart out. I will never forget this. I never had a player to do this. So I remember us going to Chicago. Now we're in suit and tie. We're sitting in the locker room. We just walked in the locker room. And I remember Michael Jordan walks into our locker room, suit and tie. I'm like, what the hell is he doing in our locker room? Is he coming to the training room? What's going on? So he walks by me, he walks by Kevin. We get to Randy with me. He said, lace him up, it's gonna be a long night. I'm like, did he just come in our locker room?
Damn.
I didn't know what to say. I was shocked. He had 60 that night.
Damn!
He had 60 points
60?
that night. We ended up winning the game, but the scoring performance he put on that night was incredible.
When I first met Mike, I was
He
like
walk
in 10th
into
grade,
y'all
and
locker
I went down to
room
Santa Barbara, and I seen him
and
when
say
I
he
was
finna bust y'all ass and still bust y'all ass.
It's like Jordan. Then he was like cussing. Like I was just so like, man, Michael Jordan.
They won a
So
game,
when I
though.
first met him,
60 though.
was the next night after draft night. You gotta go to your city and meet him and all that.
All of a sudden, we get to this floor, and they're like, Shamiqua, come to the front. Come here, come up here. And we open it, someone opens the door, it's Michael Jordan. And sitting at his desk, and we go in, and I was just like, oh my God.
It was more my pops though. My pops was going crazy. My father loved, I don't care, my father loved MJ.
I was walking in the tunnel going to the locker room, and he was a couple feet like behind me. I kind of turned and looked, and he just like nodded his head. I nodded my head, and I was just like, what do I do right now?
So when I saw him, I just froze. My stomach was hurting. Like, I couldn't say a
Damn,
word.
she had the
Like, he was talking to me, and I
butterflies.
was just looking at him like, yo, you are the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was speechless.
And I was walking back
That's
from the
crazy.
gym back to the dorms we used to stay at, and him and Rod Higgins pulled up on me, and they was all like, MJ specifically was like, you need a ride back over there? I was shaking. I was like, nah, I'm good.
Starstruck.
I went to the 8th grade at a new school, and it was like right around the time like the first Air Jordans came out. And Mike was doing commercials with Spike Lee, and it was like this super cool time to get involved, like to love the game. And that was it. I just played hoops every day after that to be with my friends, but also because I totally fell in love with it.
MJ effect.
Yeah.
That's the MJ effect. So,
you know, the hype of going up against Mike was okay. Let's go. Show me. Like, I've been watching you play my whole life.
I like that.
Show me. Like, I want to see this. Everybody calling you Black Jesus and all this other crap. Like, you have to show me, man. And
I like the attitude.
And you know, I think his respect and appreciation for me really grew that day because you saw on the biggest stage, I didn't shy away from that confrontation. I look forward to that confrontation.
Shout out to B, man.
Mike
Rest
wouldn't
in
share
peace.
information with nobody.
MJ dropped 63 in the playoffs versus
I like
the Celtics.
that.
What was that game like?
just talking about
It was
that.
crazy because that was when I think he came back from surgery, and they didn't want him to play. They wanted him to restrict him. And MJ said, I'm a ball player. I'm playing. If I'm on the court, I want to play my 35, 37 minutes. So that's when Gervin didn't play that much. But it was just amazing how he was fresh. I mean, you know, he ain't played 20 games. Everybody done played 82. So
Damn, look at
Nobody,
the defense.
that's crazy.
And-
George Gervin was on the bench
Yeah.
when MJ hit 63.
Yeah.
Nobody,
Damn.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was on the bench. But he was in another world, you know. We lost, but he put a show on. And he was popping and stopping.
What
He was
Larry
popping and
say?
stopping.
What Larry say?
Tonight, I think I witnessed Jesus on the basketball court.
Oh, Red Bird, yeah. It was tough playing against Boston because they got every call, man. It's amazing. The floor is bad. They
Excuse me.
pushing you in the
Two-way
back.
play.
Rephrase that. I don't mean to cut you off. God in the basketball uniform.
Damn, they
The
compare him to
basketball shoes.
God?
God in basketball
So
shoes.
in Boston, on the court, so DJ, so he not to guide you to the dead spot every time. He'll guide you and get the steal and go down the court.
Oh, because he would.
Boston got about 3-4 dead spots. Then you had the old floor.
Yeah.
And DJ knew how to turn the guard. And next thing you know, because he turned him and tried to ball and come up. He, you know,
it.
but
That's the old parquet flow, E.
and when you play in Boston in the wintertime, they got the windows open. And already cold. It's already about 30 degrees. They make like 0 degrees. It was like they did everything they could for, you know, to have advantage. And so you already got advantage. You got Bird, Karen McHale, Harris, and DJ. Like, what more? And you got Red Auerbach looking down. So it was crazy, but it was, you know.
He just hit the shot to beat the Utah Jazz. It is the perfect way to go out.
crazy.
His career is over. He's going into business, retirement, whatever he's going to do with his life. And he comes in, and Jordan doesn't have any shoes. His shoes are off. After every time they won a championship, Tim Halloran, who was the head of PR for the Bulls, would always take Jordan's shoes, and he would keep them. I think he has Jordan's shoes from all the championships. So Michael would come in his socks. His jersey would be untucked, full of champagne, and he always had a Cuban cigar and a big smile on his face. So he's walking in, which I believe is going to be for the last time he'll ever do something like this. He's won a championship, hit the last-second shot, just crushed the Utah Jazz, ripped their heart out. And he comes in. And Phil Jackson is already in there, ready to go on. And Phil is sitting off to my right. And we're in commercial break, and Michael comes in. And Michael says to Phil, you're going to be around doing this. I'm not. So he's asking Coach if he can go first to do the interview. So he sits down. We do the interview. He loved being challenged. He loved when you had some fun with him. He was competitive that way. He gets up, and we go to commercial break. Phil Jackson gets up, getting ready to sit down. And then I said, hey, it's a shame you're retiring, man. So I wanted a piece of you. And he turns. So he's got the basketball, the game ball with him, a cigar. And he said, how would you guard me, MFer? And I got my suit and tie on. We're during commercial break. Phil Jackson's walking over, sitting down. I go, come here. Let me see how you would guard me, MFer.
Nah, he took that personal, bruh.
Okay. And so I put my forearm in the middle of his back. And he goes, is that all you got? And like he gave me this look that I've like, Yeah. And he just laughed.
Yeah, he took
He
that
said, "You're
personal.
lucky. I'm retired."
Yeah.
And then he walked out the door.
You can tell like
So this
little
is 15
small
minutes
comments
after
like
the
that,
game,
or somebody saying that
and he just
they
won
could
his
guard him.
championship. And all of a sudden,
Definitely
he's
triggers
staring me
him.
down and giving me grief about how I'm going to guard him.
That's crazy.
But it was funny. I'm putting my forearm in the middle of his back, like, that's going to do it. No one's ever thought about doing that. I should have just grabbed a hold of his shorts. I'd have had a
MJ
better
funny,
opportunity.
bro. Competitive as hell,
The
bro.
Chicago Bulls pick Michael Jordan of the University of North Carolina.
The early years.
Michael comes in, he's a college star, he goes to the Olympics, and now it's all these stories of his leaping ability. He's scoring, he's dunking in his rookie year, he's averaging 28 points, and is one of the big stories of the NBA season. By now, the Bulls are owned by Reinsdorf. Jerry sees a lot of opportunities.
They knew they had Michael, but now it was trying to figure out what else worked. That included players and coaches. That was kind of the task that Jerry Krause was given, was to observe what we had and really change the culture. I learned early on that the best thing I could do was compliment Michael.
Jordan, having played only 18 regular season games, goes in and gets 63 points against Boston. That really opens national eyes to, wow, this guy, he's not just a great player, this guy is something different. Larry Bird says this is God disguised as Michael Jordan. Doug Collins
Really
hired his coach
comparing him
opening
to
night
God.
in Madison Square Garden. Jordan goes over to Doug before the game, says, "Don't worry, coach, I'm not letting you lose this game." Scores 50 points. And from there, takes off on his spectacular season. Averages 37 points. Even though Magic and Bird are winning titles, this guy is the guy that everyone in the league wants to see. You know, this is the most spectacular player in the game. And now the stadium begins to fill up. Bulls tickets become a specialty item. What is he going to do next?
My
The
boy
Bulls
had
really
Chicago
enhance upon it.
turn.
They put together a show that becomes iconic. You know, the Bulls introductions, the Bulls game presentation, things that are going around in the Chicago stadium.
Yeah, Chicago
Nobody's
lit.
done this. This is like, it's practically unheard of.
Outside of drafting Michael Jordan, the most significant draft was the year that they drafted Scotty and Horace. You could tell that they were going to give us a different dynamic on the floor. Their athleticism, their length was something that we didn't have. Now Michael was really a veteran, and now the younger guys had to come in and really show him that they could play.
The closeness and the bond is just not something that happened overnight, especially when you talk about a guy like Michael, who was globally a huge icon. We just needed that time to bond as not only teammates, but as friends.
Makes sense.
The rivalries back then were more significant than they are now, especially in a division, because you played those guys 6 times a year. And it seemed like every time you turned around, you were playing them. They were real rivalries. We, for years, got bullied by the Pistons. It was confrontational. We didn't like them. They didn't like us.
It was a great rivalry. It did a lot for us in terms of teaching us. We knew that we were right there and that there was a few things that we had to do to get over the hump.
It wasn't kind of just handed to us. We had to take our lumps along the way. Every year we seemed to find a little bit more cohesiveness as a team, but it was a process and it involved Doug Collins kind of doing his thing for 3 years, getting us to a spot when hiring Phil Jackson, and his teaching and coaching that gave us a little impetus to get to another level.
We had a lot of adversity going into that Game 7, which we thought
conference
we could win.
final.
We had such a great Game 6 where we demolished them. After that game, there was a lot of long faces. You really got a sense of how important this game was and how important where we needed to be as a group. I remember Jordan standing up at the end of the game, and we're in the locker room, and he said, "This will never happen again. We'll never lose to this team again."
Damn.
Yeah, they are. You know, it's the young men. They are interested in some of the star players. When you talk about Stockton or Jordan, you know, we talk about the old rules of you know, not the new rules, but the old rules of like when you had to go meet Jordan at the rim because you couldn't play zone. And,
Damn, you couldn't play zone
the game
defense
has
back
changed
then?
in that way where now you can, you know, play zone. But the players, you know, a lot more players got dunked on. A lot more players got isolated.
I never
you
knew
were on
that.
an island. You know, you didn't have help, and you had to figure out how to stop those great players.
You got a Jordan?
You got
a Jordan story?
You came up short.
You got a Jordan story?
Jordan story. Probably my rookie year. I actually told this story to Chris Middleton. My rookie year, I'm guarding him, and I can just, you know, my heart's about to come out of my chest, and I'm just praying that he just shoots a fadeaway jump shot. But he decided to go baseline, and when he went to jump, all I could think about, this cannot be a highlight. And he just did like a little reverse layup. And as he came down and started running back, he just looked back and winked at me.
Jay Kidd thought he was about to get dunked on.
I thought, oh man, this could be a long night.
Here he's got an opportunity to play against Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
And what was that? What was that like?
Well, playing against Michael, at the time, I just didn't have as much of an appreciation for it as I probably do now. At the time, the Knicks and the Bulls were big rivals, and when you're going into competing against someone, as an athlete, anyone you played against, I don't care how old you are, you know the person that you're playing against. You know how good they are. You know the type of challenge is going to be. Sometimes you know you might be better than that person. You know that they might have a little edge. They might be taller. So as a competitor, the Knicks were always in a very intense battle with certain teams. One of them was the Bulls when I first got to New York. So I didn't have time to think about and appreciate that you're playing against, probably the best player to ever play. Only thing I was really thinking about was how am I going to make it difficult on him and on both ends as much as possible. Playing against Michael was tough because he was very explosive. He didn't have to dribble the ball a lot. He got to where he wanted to go because he had really good fundamentals. He had really good footwork.
I was just excited mostly because I'm like, it's competition. That's why you're in the league for. Competition. I'm like, I need to, try to stop this dude, man. I stopped this dude. I'm going to get a little rep. And, we had success in Houston against him. That was the cool part about it, beating him a couple of times, but super talented player, man. This dude was so good, man. Catch the ball when he wanted to catch it. I remember one game in Chicago in '97 where this dude was jaying me up. 21 in the first quarter. I'm like,
damn,
you gonna send a double
21 in
team
the
on this
first
dude?
quarter?
And I'm all on him, Will. I'm elbowing him in the joint. He just backing me up. He just fading on me, Will. I'm like, yo.
But Vernon had the most success guarding, didn't he?
Because Vernon was super athletic, man. I wasn't athletic as Vernon. Vernon was a football player in high school, quarterback. Vernon had 4.9% body fat.
Every time I see Jordan highlights, bro, I still
motor. It was a different motor. That dude could run all
shocked
day.
at what I'm seeing, bro.
He was a special athlete.
His highlights are crazy.
He was just in Jordan. He was a guy and wouldn't back down. Well, our team, none of us backed down from there. Nobody was scared of him, We love competing against him, That's why you're in the NBA for it. All these guys want to join each other well and play with each other. No, I want to beat you. I want to beat you. LeBron, you say you the GOAT. Why you joining Bosh and, you know what I'm saying? We wasn't doing that in the 90s.
Damn.
You know what? Since we're talking about Michael Jordan so much, I want to give you a little recommendation. I'm pretty sure most of you guys are my age or older, so we all grew up on the 80s, 90s NBA basketball. And the one thing that I always liked, back in those VHS days, you always had those videotapes of NBA players. If it was Jordan, if it was Larry Bird, if it was Dominique Wilkins, if it was Elijah Wan, if it was Ewing, Shaq, and so on. And Jordan had a couple of videos, and I took some time not too long ago rewatching those videos like Airtime, Above and Beyond, Come Fly With Me. And I can really recommend you guys, when you're done with this video and you want to kick back on a Sunday and revisit some good old times, all of those videos, you find them on YouTube and so on. And I would just say, really take the time, watch them. It really takes you back.
Got a cat named Michael Jordan who's leading the league in scoring. Towards the end of your career, a guy that was a low post scorer, and you see the way the fans gravitated to Michael, captivating the NBA universe.
It was just phenomenal. And just the workouts with Michael, this type of intensity and his mental focus, and he worked hard every day. That was a virus. It spread it. Everybody went into working hard. In those early years, it was really a challenge for Michael trying to get past Detroit. But it was really, really nice. Pleasant part of my career, being able to play with
say
Michael.
About your Pacers, that was the scariest game we ever faced. Jaylen, are you surprised to hear that your Pacers, who pushed this team to a Game 7, was the scariest game that they ever faced as a team?
I think there was two distinct reasons. And by the way, it wasn't because of me. I was just a bug.
No.
It was because of Reggie and Mark, and Rick the Ruler, and the Davis brothers being physical, and Travis Best, and all of those guys that was playing quality minutes. I was just happy to be there. But you ain't gonna put Joe Bushler on me though. You ain't gonna do that.
That's gonna be a bucket.
And so the two things are, one, they had never gone to a Game 7 the previous times they won championships. And the second thing was that was the end. It was a culmination. They knew Scotty was going to get paid. They knew Phil wasn't going to come back. For a lot of people that don't remember, Dennis Rodman wasn't a starter in that series. Tony Kukoc was up front with Scottie Pippen and Luke Longley. And so I understand that we were a team that played them in the regular season. It was 5-5 split. How about that? Playing your guys in your division that many times, 5 times. That creates something. And then playing them 6 times in the playoffs with that Game 7 on their home floor and having that black hat. Man.
Let me tell you something.
My boy's still having nightmares about
Zach Lowe wrote a great article about this, and in the article he mentioned that you were upset that you didn't see more time, especially in the fourth quarter, which is just very, very much what I experience every day working with you. But if you look at these numbers, see, Jordan is 9 for 25 from the floor. You're 3 for 4 in 16 minutes. Per 48, you're a better game performer than Michael Jordan. Like, that's a fact. So Michael Jordan, I will give you this. Michael Jordan had a better career than you, but when it matters in Game 7s, you're just a better, more efficient, higher volume scorer than Michael Jordan. It's a fact. That's just math. It's just that you can't. It's indisputable math. Now, not only has The Last Dance allowed us to reveal this fact about Jaylen being a better Game 7 performer than Michael Jordan.
The thing that sticks out to me most is that how quick and strong he was and how quick he got off the ground. So Michael knew kind of what areas he wanted to go to. So when you were defending him, he would kind of set you up one way and get to one spot and just elevate. And there was really nothing you could do because he got off the ground so quick. And then when he was able to shoot the ball better and better every year, it just made it that much more difficult. And now, you know, kind of understanding more about the triangle offense from working with Phil Jackson and Derek Fisher and the Knicks staff, I have a better appreciation for how he was able to be so effective, because now I can see how he had a very intelligent way to view the game. He didn't have to rush. He kind of set up things on the floor where he was on this side of the floor, but he knew he was going to get to the other side of the floor to be in position. And he just was a very athletic but cerebral. He was a smart player.
Any fun or competitive stories on and off the court? What about Mike?
Man, Michael, not anything too crazy. You know, the guys used to tease him a lot, right? So we had a running program. 3 groups. A, quick young guards. They'd have to run their time, you know, like a 2:20 and 27 seconds. B group, which Michael was in, had to run his in 30. And then the bigs. So the little guys were always telling Michael, the point guards, you got 3 more seconds to make your time. So Michael got tired of hearing that shit. And he went and told coach, said, put me in the A group. He just bust their ass. He was running his shit in 25 seconds.
Damn.
But rookies also had to carry like either film ejector or the boom box. And Michael had the big boom box he had to carry around. One time, you know, I think we had to get on him about Kerfield. Boy, he was real close to, because, you know, one guy in trouble, the whole team got around. Michael was pretty clever. I don't really remember too many. Buzz Peterson, you have to ask Buzz.
That's his boy.
His roommate. I know Buzz used to say, you know, because Buzz was kind of preppy dresser kind of guy, so he always had the button-down shirts. Michael used to wear all his clothes, and so Buzz put his shoes on, they'd be all stretched out, messed up. He used to do stuff like that with Buzz.
Hi, my name's Jeffrey from New York.
Yes, Jeffrey.
This is not coming from a Chicago Bulls fan, but when Jordan dunked on you.
Oh, there we go. Keep going, Jeffrey. I'm listening. I'm not looking at you.
When he dunked on you, were you more mad they dunked on you or they stole your celebration?
Oh, let me get it straight. You know what? Michael and I still talking about this until today, every time we see each other. I always remind Michael that he didn't dunk on me like he did on Patrick and the other guys that he got over there in his video. I think he was more happy to get close to the basket where I was or where I came late. I think for the fact that it took him more than 7.5 years to get one dunk, you know, that's legit, man. You can ask Michael that why it took you 7 years to pop one on Mutombo. And I tell Michael, okay, you can celebrate, you got one, but I was too far away when I was coming in. I have to go underneath the basket to try to reach, and I was just late.
Yeah, he was late.
But I said, Mike, why
Makes
you
sense.
didn't just come?
Still got poked on the
kid,
Kimbe,
To
man.
see if you can
He
get
got
there.
you.
He never tried that.
A lot of players,
He always
if they're
dunking
very
on everybody,
athletic,
though.
they're not as cerebral because you have to use your speed and strength to get the advantage. Well, Michael was able to do both. He was able to use his intelligence, but also his footwork, his strength, his athleticism
Damn, Barkley.
to gain the advantage. And the last thing about Michael was that he was he never took a possession off mentally. If you notice some of your coaches, for those of you who play sports, they will probably tell you that sometimes you kind of drift, and make a couple of mistakes, mental mistakes, and it's natural because as you're growing, you those things happen, especially as you get tired. But Michael was so good at every possession, it was almost like the last one. And when you can get to a point where every possession you're very paying attention to everything on the floor and you're not making mental mistakes, that's when you become really, really good as an individual and as a team, and that's what he was very good at.
Well, I don't know if it never happened, but I do know he does take everything personal. And in everything that he does, cards, whatever. I was in a room with him for, I don't know, 5 hours one time, day of a game. He wouldn't let us leave. Me, Tom Chambers, Ty Corbin. It was an exhibition game, and he would not let us leave. And we were stiff. I called Cotton, said, Cotton, I can't go. He said, that's okay, I was going to hold you out. Tom called him up. Cotton, I'm sore, I can't go. That's okay.
Damn, they scared.
And Ty Corbin wouldn't dare do it, right? I'm not doing it. So Jordan stands up in the room, and he says, you tell that boy Dan Marley, I got something for him tonight. And now I stood up. I couldn't hardly walk. I mean, literally, we had played the night before, traveled that day. I was stiff as a board. He would not. It was Scottie Pippen in the room, Horace Grant. I mean, we just playing this game called Tonk, okay? And we just going at it. And he looked at Tom and I. He said, I'm going to give your boy 40.
In an exhibition game?
Yeah. We like, who? Dan. I'm like, yeah, okay. Whatever. Bet 100. Bet 200.
200?
I took the bet.
Ooh.
Tom took the bet.
Ooh, 400?
So he starts the game. And he just
Easy
going
400.
nuts. I'm over there still stiff. I got heat packs under my clothes, man. I'm like, stiff. This man's out there going crazy. Damn. And Tom and I sitting there looking at him like, this dude is just insane. So he had about 34.
Damn.
He walks over to the bench. And he catches the ball. He catches it. He looks at Tom and I like, get that money ready. He catches the ball. And Dan's guarding him.
No.
Reverse pivots on him. So Dan's got to backed up. And he went right. And he just tried to tear the rim down. Tongue wagging, he went down like this, right? And holding up 400. Nobody knew what the 4 was, right? And so we're looking. So timeout. Cotton called a timeout. And Michael came over after the timeout. He said, Cotton, your boys, they were playing cards with me all day. Told on us. So that's why. Oh yes. So that's why. Yeah. So that's why y'all not playing. That's why they not playing. And they bet me too. I told him I was gonna give your boy Dan Marley 40.
Damn.
And he had 30. He had 30, 36, 38. And we sitting over there. And Cotton turns to Dan, who's a rookie, right? Because Dan supposedly locked Jordan up, in the Olympics, right? And Cotton looks at Dan and said, Dan, what did you do to Michael? Just messing with him. And Dan was like, I didn't do anything to him. We fell out laughing. And he went, man, he dunked for the 40 on everybody.
Damn.
And look, what ran past bitch, I want my money. Ooh. Checked himself out the game. The next day, Cotton tried to kill me and Tom, virtually the whole team in practice, because he felt that that's the reason we didn't play.
Oh, my
Damn.
So
bro.
Michael will tell.
Oh, my goodness.
He dropped 40, then checked himself out the game and said, where my 400
we'll
at?
Start this recap
Give me
where
that.
they started.
That's tough.
Episode 5.
I like that story.
That is with Kobe Bean Bryant going against Michael Jordan in what was Kobe's first All-Star game in Madison Square Garden. What did watching that behind-the-scenes footage, listen to Michael Jordan discuss Kobe Bryant's game, and then later hear Kobe talk about what a mentor Jordan was, what did that bring up for you?
Well, first and foremost, how we lost the late, great Kobe Bryant so very young, and there was so much more that he was going to give society and the game of basketball and to his family that it's just really tragic that he and all of the people that perished in that accident aren't going to be with us anymore.
R.I.P., man.
Including his daughter, who just
R.I.P.
her 14th birthday just passed.
RPG.
So that Jacoby, that was the thing that came to mind, and also how they knew Kobe was next, and he knew it as well. For a guy really that was barely starting on the Lakers to make the All-Star game and to say you wanted to be the next MJ, you become the remix of him, the next best version.
Definitely.
He becomes your mentor, and you go in that a mano in the All-Star game. Like this is a legendary NBA situation, and I'm glad it got exposed.
Oh, no question about it. And even the year that the shot took place, I think we won 57 ball games that year. And Chicago was in our division, and we played them 6 times. The expansion hadn't happened yet. So, yeah, we won all 6 that year against Chicago. But you meet those guys in the first round, and you got a guy named Michael Jordan that can pull off some miracles. It was definitely an opportunity for us to compete with the Bulls. But, year after year, the Bulls just kept getting better and better. And it was fun playing in the division with them because, back then it wasn't saturated with TV. We just had, a couple of games on TV. But if it was the Cavs and the Bulls playing, it was always going to be on.
Did you ever get anything from him signed?
No, yes, I did. I was going to say no. I was going to say no, but I was like, hold up, backtrack. Michael Jackson moonwalk. I did get a jersey signed.
You did?
Get a jersey signed. Yes.
I'm surprised that you did that.
It took everything in my fiber to ask the ball boy to go down there and get it. Yeah, it was for a charity thing.
Did he ask for one of yours?
Are you kidding me? Are you?
Wouldn't that be great if Mike says, I'll do it if you give me one of your jerseys?
You know what's funny? I wonder if Michael Jordan has anything signed from anyone. Like, would he ask Muhammad Ali, back when Muhammad Ali was alive,
Yes.
if he would have asked Muhammad Ali for something signed?
competitive?
I'm trying to think of people.
But nobody in the
that
NBA, though. It's not like he's going to say to Larry, can I get a jersey? Or
through the roof.
Magic. Certainly
Do you
not
think
Isaiah.
He may have asked Magic maybe for a jersey?
I don't know if Mike would hang up jerseys of other people.
Not necessarily to hang up.
Michael
but just
Jordan has an autographed Jesus picture. That's how good he is.
So we're saying Muhammad Ali would probably have been the only person at the time MJ would have asked for an autograph, sports autograph.
Yeah.
I got to ask you, you played with Kobe, you played against Mike. one-on-one in their prime, who's better, you think?
I mean, that's not even that's hands down. I mean, people I give Kobe's props. I think he came in young. So him and Eddie Jones were on the Lakers together. That's all I remember is playing against those two. So both of those guys didn't want to even see me his first 2, 3, 4 years.
Yeah, you killed him.
He grew up, took over the league.
Yeah.
Give him all his, right? You know, I give him props. Mike is a whole different thing.
Yeah.
That's a whole.
So you saw Kobe as like a puppy.
I mean, I knew I put it like this, man. I see him as a puppy.
Yeah.
So 18 to 22, he was learning his way.
Right.
He was raw.
He was nice.
And I was still like, that's the nicest 18-year-old I ever played against.
Yeah.
But I was 24, 25. I was a full-grown man. So I was like,
whatever.
I'm gonna serve this kid right now. I don't care who he is. So he went through that.
Yeah.
But what I like about Kobe is that when I got to the Lakers, he was like, let's play one-on-one. I was like, I'm just getting in shape, let me get my body right. I'll get with you in about 30 days. It was training camp.
Yeah.
And he was serious. He's like, let's go one-on-one. And his whole thing, what he told me later, was like, I remember when you used to go at me.
Yeah.
And that's his way of coming back at me. I grew up. I've been honing my skills. I'm ready. So I respect him, and I think he's the Don Dada for that.
Of course.
But Mike is a whole different thing. So I had to guard them both, and it's not even like Mike, let me go to sleep tonight. Let me chill. Let me rest the
Whole
next
different
day.
type of preparation going against Mike.
Eat the right things.
Yeah.
Kobe, not saying that you had to switch it up, but I didn't have that fear.
Yeah.
Mike would have, you better bring your game. I could
You
go
and
for
Mike in
50
his
tonight.
prime.
Wow.
Like,
Oh, yeah, Mike in his prime. We went at it toe-to-toe, head-to-head.
I know,
loved
yeah,
me.
of course.
Mike was like, man, you never back down. You're strong.
Yeah.
I love you.
Yeah.
God, he put me in his all-star games. Him and Mike loved me, as far as
That's
where I used
amazing.
to come. But Mike is the best player in the world ever. LeBron, Kobe, nobody can fade that.
Yeah.
Tell us about when you and Garnett served Michael Jordan, though.
Oh, okay. Barnix, okay, I see.
Something happened.
Your man
here,
prepped him,
man.
okay.
Something going on.
So you and KG served Mike?
I would get my 20s, 24s, 25s, 29 on Mike. Mike don't get his 30, 32, 35. You make him add 40. He never got 40 on me, but he did get 35, let's say. I mean, he gets money. I try to keep him down to 25, 26, his average. Anything over that,
okay.
Right? So what happened was, we're in Chicago, and I had played against Mike 3 times head up. So KG had never seen me play against Mike.
Yeah.
So we're in the game, and I got about 24 going into the fourth quarter.
Okay.
Mike got about 18, 19.
Okay.
So I'm quiet. I always stay quiet when I play Mike. I didn't talk too much. I mean, if he talked to me, I was going to talk back, but he never talked crazy to me. We just played. But I never talked crazy to him at all, right?
Yeah, you knew better.
So
he said he knew better.
We come out of the fourth quarter, KG like, man, keep going at his ass.
Uh-oh.
Serve him. He can't guard you.
Uh-oh.
He can't da-da-da with you. He can't mess with you. I was like, I was quiet. I'm looking at him like, just chill. Because Mike was literally right there.
And
Him
KG
Scott.
was hype. Like
And
KG
he's super hype.
Yes.
I'm a super hype 75, right? But I'm like, chill. He's like, man, he looked at me like, man, he can't guard you. Keep going at him. I'm like, man, chill. He's like, what? I was like, he's standing right here, buddy.
Finna poke the bear. What you doing, KG?
And KG was like, I don't care. Keep going at him.
Wow,
Too strong for this dude, man. Too strong for him. I was like, wow. So Mike looked at me, looked at KG, looked at me, looked at KG. I was like, Mike, he don't know the rules of the game, man. He just young. You know what I mean? Mike was like, okay, he talking? You know what I mean? I said, man, he don't know the rules of the game.
Yeah.
And Mike looked at him again like, okay. Looked at me like, okay. I said, what you looking at me like that for, right?
Bust y'all
Went to the fourth quarter, man. That man got about 17 quick.
Damn.
Mad. Looking at KG, looking at me, looking at KG. I said, look, I got to guard that man. Not you.
Facts. What you talking for?
know what
I
mean?
got to
Mind you,
guard
KG
him.
was having a great game on Scotty. We both, KG had about 30. I had about 28.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we was getting it.
It's amazing.
But KG didn't understand that we don't talk to Mike like that.
Can't
We
poke
don't
the
talk.
bear,
Don't
bro.
talk.
Cannot
At least
poke the bear.
I guard that man.
You had the opportunity to play against Michael
Damn.
Jordan?
I like that story. That was a
Man,
good
did
one.
I. What an honor.
What was that like?
People think that you get on the floor and they're like, oh, yeah, I'm going to beat this guy. I did this to him. I crossed him up. I got on the floor thinking this is an honor. This guy, when I finally started playing basketball, I had posters. I'm not kidding. There are pictures that I have posters of Michael Jordan wall to wall on the ceiling in my bedroom as a kid in high school. And never did I think, I'm like him, but he was just an inspiration. He was the greatest. And at that time, we thought he would be the greatest ever, which I still contend he is, and will always be. To get out on the floor, the first thing I said when I got subbed in to play against Michael, and this was the 4th time we played Chicago, my rookie year. I hadn't played against him the first 3 times, didn't get off the bench. So I get off the bench, I pick the splinters out of my backside. And I was ready, though. I studied the game. I helped my teammates out. I said, this is what he likes to do. MJ likes to go left and pull up. He doesn't go all the way and lay it up, but if you let him go right, he's going to dunk it on you. So I'd study the game. Get in. Someone asked me, my teammate asked me, who do you want to guard? I'm like, Michael Jordan. Are you kidding me? I got Michael. First time I played against him, I played well, and it was interesting because he was calling me UConn. Didn't know my name, but he knew what school I went to. That was, to me, impressive. But it showed how much Michael Jordan was into the game. You know, I remember him saying to me and a couple other my teammates, one of them that played with him, Scotty Burrell, who won a championship with Michael Jordan. He said, and this was early on, before UConn men won any championships, he said, there were a couple of us together, and he says, this is verbatim, Michael Jordan says, oh, you go to UConn too, right? And so we're all like, yeah, he goes to UConn too. He's like, oh, that's where men are men and women are champions. And all of us kind of sat there, we died. Because it was true. And I always remind him of that. I've gotten to know Michael, and we've reminded him that the men have won a couple of championships now since that call.
My family in general wanted to meet Mike. So I was like, yeah, let's go over there and meet Mike and say what's up. So I'm introducing everyone. How you doing? How you doing? Meets my kid. So little man says to big sis, she was like, Dad, he's darker than I expected.
I was thinking the same thing, BZ.
Observations.
Oh man.
I was like, what'd you say? He was like, Dad, he looks darker than I thought. So, you know, he's starting to play video games and you see him, but he got to see Mike live and in person. And I was like, man, that's why they call him Black Jesus, man. Like, you know, like Black Cat.
Black
He's like,
Jesus.
oh, okay, yeah. So that was kind of the highlight of Saturday. That was Saturday.
What do you remember as we had Jordan coming from the front office to the court?
Well, I remember that was my contract year. I played 2 years before then, and then that was my contract year. So, you know, he was kind of a guy to help me. I really was going with negotiating my contract, you know, and just so happened we had the same agent. So it kind of helped me out a lot there. Other than that, what I did really, you know, you grow up seeing Michael Jordan, you grow up watching him as this above human phenomenon, you know, a big fan. And the first time, you know, he comes in the locker room and you're just in awe and stardom and you can't believe that he's just there. And you happen to, you know, be able to not only have a chance to possibly play with him, but he's there, you know, helping construct and run the team a little bit. And it was just an amazing thing. I pitched myself many times during that first year.
Damn. Back off what Jihadi said, it's just, you grow up watching this guy going outside. I don't care if he's 6'9", 6'10", like Jihadi. You go out and try to do what he did. Or you're a 6-foot guard, you go out and try and do what MJ did. So to come back and see, you know, him in there, and our lockers was right next to each other. You know, and it was surreal. Damn. It was an honor.
See all these
when we were both in
old
college,
NBA players
we
saying they want
spent
to be like
a
MJ.
month one summer playing on a USA
that,
basketball team. And I actually roomed with Michael down in Nashville. We trained for a week at Vanderbilt. Sam Newton was the coach at Vanderbilt at the time, was the coach of this team that we went overseas with. And so I spent some, you know, I obviously spent some time with Michael. Not that I got to know him great, but, you know, you could tell how really good he was going to be. But on that trip, we actually went over, and outside of Michael, and we kind of had a misfit group. It wasn't a bunch of big name college players. And we went over the first 2 games we played against the 10 best players in Europe. And if you remember Chichenko, the big Russian, and there's a guy named Delapagic who was like 30 years old, and a man, you know, and he could score. So we went and played them the first game, we got our butts kicked. I mean, they were men against boys. But we then went and played some more equal level teams, and we're in some little gym in this town, Zadar, Yugoslavia, and I made a shot at the buzzer to win it. And I always kind of said to myself, you know what, as time went on, that, you know, Michael probably, okay, that might be one of his first remembrances of me as a player, you know, that I can maybe step up in a situation and do something. So, you know, as that's kind of a prelude to your question, but it's, and I always come back to this word, but Michael had to trust you as a competitor.
Definitely.
It's really, in my mind, it was that simple. He had to trust you as a competitor, and he didn't like, you know, he didn't like you being any nonsense in terms of, you know, how you played. He just wanted you to go out and compete.
You know, with all the clips that I always find it
respect.
super unfortunate that there are so many legends from back in the day who hardly go on NBA television. They never get interviewed. And I would so desperately love to hear what they have to say, what it was like for them to play against Michael Jordan. I mean, we often have Dominique Wilkins. We often have the same guys. But hey, the 80s and 90s had so many legends. I guess it's up to those NBA shows to invite more guys like Joe Dumars and those type of guys, you know? But hey, what can you do? Let's continue with the video.
I know there was this slam dunk contest, but did you feel like you were every bit as good, if not better, than Jordan?
Oh, man, we had plenty of rivals. You know, Michael, all the guys I played against, probably the most fun guy to play against is Michael Jordan, man. Because he raised your level of play, intensity.
Yeah. Wait, and so fun? I've never heard somebody describe playing against Jordan as
great player.
Fun.
It brings out the best in you.
It was fun. What I mean by that is that
especially if
I
you
was
were
excited to play against him. So it was fun to go against a great player. Like, of course, the competitive level was a whole different level. Because we were very competitive. We wanted to kick each other's butt. There's no question about that. And so we had some fierce games that we played against each other throughout our career. We, against one another in our careers, we averaged 30 over 30 a game against each other in our career.
Damn.
And so when I say fun,
ain't no
that's
Dominique
the
like
atmosphere that's what basketball is about, to play against somebody like that.
I don't remember you talking when you played. Did Michael talk?
I didn't talk much. You know, it's certain times that you talk. You know, Mike get under your skin. You know, he might say a little bit, but he wasn't a big time trash talker. He didn't have to be. But if he talked trash, you know, it was try to get in your head or somebody he didn't like. So, but other than that, nah, he didn't talk a lot.
Does LeBron have to do something, or can he do something where you would go, now I would look at him as the best player?
No, I think he certainly, you know, just off the cuff, he's certainly the top 5 of all time. But
take it.
Playing against him and MJ, I think for me it's MJ all day long, only because how I played against him, and you know, MJ just had everything, you know, from mid-range to 3-point to post-up game, and he could score and dominate in each position.
Was he mean to you?
No, he wasn't. He actually killed me slowly, and yeah, he would comment to the coach, he's actually doing a great job out here, and meanwhile he's scoring at 45.
Wait, he's talking to your coaches?
Yeah, I remember Chris Ford, he's
ass,
yelling at me. Chris Ford's yelling the whole time, like, rookie, get in front of him. And I'm fronting him on the post, and MJ just kind of slowly kind of glides across the floor, and he gets the ball and shakes and scores.
Trash talk.
And I did everything
Sarcasm.
the game plan said, and then there's a break in action. We're sitting there, and you know, Chris Ford is just down there just hammering me, and MJ was like, he's doing a great job, coach. He's actually doing a great job. Meanwhile, he's got 45 on the book.
Damn,
so
45, Ray?
Did you think that Mike didn't want you taken out because he had 45 in the books? Like he wanted you to guard him?
No, I honestly believe that he didn't think that anybody could stop him. He could score whenever he wanted to score, wherever he wanted to score. So it didn't matter what I did.
This was the crazy part. That was the same year Michael Jordan came back. Yeah. That was when he came back. I think he came back. He was in 20 games into coming back when I got there. And like I said, I played the last 14. And then we end up, the crazy part, because playoffs now and injuries, rosters, it's changed big time. Because back in the day when I played, if you was injured, once you went on that roster,
you stuck.
on the injury list, you stayed on for 5 games.
Yeah.
No matter who got hurt, you got hurt, still can't bring him out for 5 games. Game, second round, we play Michael Jordan then.
Yeah.
That's when Nick Anderson
stole the ball.
Yeah. To this day, until I saw what was the Last Dance, I did not know Nick Anderson said
he wasn't the same.
45 is not 23. Oh, Lord. I would have said, man, y'all, you don't shut the What is you doing?
Another victim
You don't
poking
get
the
this man
bear.
no field? What did you do?
Another victim
So when I saw that, I was
poking
like,
the bear.
oh, my God.
He done got him started.
So game
All that
2.
time you never knew
No,
that?
never knew it. Never knew it. Because I was newcomer still.
Yeah.
So game 2, never forget.
Trash talk MJ.
I say, I was always a Michael Jordan fan. Game 2, he comes out, keeps his top on, got his pants off, shorts on, and then they do the announcement.
Took that shit out, had that 23 on.
They did the announcement. He said, wearing number 45, Michael Jordan. Yeah, crowd go crazy. You know, we at home, but it sounds like we in Chicago. So he kept his top on. Boy, both teams broke out of the huddles. Coming to the court, that motherfucker took out that damn thing. I saw 2-3. I said, oh, Lord.
Damn.
Superman's in the building.
Brought back 2-3 on y'all.
Jesus. We in trouble tonight.
He
So
took
they
it
ended up winning
personal.
game. They won game 2.
He took it personal for sure.
Oh, Lord. I saw that 2-3. I was like, ooh.
Like, this is what
Spooked
I
his
wanna know.
ass.
You know how we all know how it is in the league, and
Nah.
especially in that position, like where you like, I ain't playing like. What was the chatter at the end of the bench? Like, oh shit!
I don't know. I just know I was excited. I don't know what they were saying.
I'm ready to watch this shit.
Because I was sitting there like, I ain't got to guard him. Like, I ain't got to guard him. Good luck. Remember Bernie Mac saying, you're doing a good job. Keep up the good luck.
Damn.
Good luck. So they end up beating us.
Yeah.
I know how we
I
felt
wonder how much
playing
he dropped
against
that
Jordan.
game.
Like Jordan was the most dominant player in our era, and we would talk for hours on the phone, watching him play against another team. You know, just admiring him play. But at the same time, it was like there were things that he did in the air that we just couldn't do. You mentioned Jordan. Did you notice his body language?
He's still on alert. He's still on alert. Like he's in the film room.
How was it like playing against MJ your rookie year? Shaking in my boots.
He said shaking in my boots.
shaking in the first time I had to guard. I'm like, yo, this. Man, first of all, let me go back. 1997, MJ them in the playoffs. I think they played against the Hawks, right? I'm at the game, playoff game.
Damn.
Bro, I got an opportunity to go in the back by the locker room after the game. So I'm standing back there. I'm 17 years old, kid. I've never been around
Barkley?
NBA players like this, or even, you know, I've never been around somebody like MJ. So I'm standing back there, kid, and Black Jesus. Pip comes out. All these players start coming out. Mike comes around that corner. Bruh, I ain't gonna lie to you. The man had a glow, bro. I swear, Mike,
He said he had a glow.
that shit is real.
MJ aura effect.
That shit is real.
I got a question. This young generation thinks a certain way. Who is your GOAT basketball?
Here we go.
You know, it's funny that everybody asked that question. And to me, I think Michael Jordan is the best in my era. The way that he played, everything that he brought to the table, not to take anything away from LeBron or Kobe. LeBron is great, but Michael was a killer from day one. He was an assassin from day one. I thought that LeBron had to learn how to be an assassin. He was great now. Like, if you ask me who would I want to play with, I'm going to say LeBron.
Because you want to score.
Yeah, I want to score.
Understandable.
LeBron is a lot like Magic. He's a facilitator. He knows how to get people the ball, and you know he became a scorer as he got older.
Good point. Good
But
point.
he's great. But I'm gonna say Michael.
Got a Michael Jordan story for me before we say goodbye?
Yes. During our time with the Knicks, there was no layup rule. And every time someone went to the basket, there was going to be a challenge in some form or fashion, whether it was standing in front of a guy or going to try to meet him. And so Michael Jordan this time was going to the basket, and I decided that, hey, it may be a good idea to try to go over and block his shot. And unfortunately, that time I got put on a poster.
Damn.
And with the fat lip.
Damn, and you got a busted lip.
How many people have that story? So I'm just
Why would you
to have
jump
great
with
Michael
MJ
Jordan
though,
stories,
bro?
because that meant that I was there in the
Like,
building.
come on, bro.
So you got a fat lip, and he dunked on you?
Yes, he did.
Damn.
But you know what? Michael doesn't have a Heisman.
Man, that's tough, bro.
That is true.
Why did you jump, bro?
This how cold MJ is. I'm giving y'all. I've never
Jamal
said
Crawford.
One dude, this got word around, you know, MJ, we all hanging out afterwards. One street dude come up here, got a bag of honey. MJ, let's gamble. MJ looked at him. So I ain't got a lot of time. Slip a coin for it, heads or tails.
Ooh.
Dude looked at that 100.
400K?
I'm good. He thought he was gonna go back and forth with him. He thought he was gonna go back and forth with him.
Man,
Time for that.
flipping a coin for 100 racks?
Yeah. Let's flip a coin for it, heads or tails. Which one do you call it? Right. Dude looked at that money like you could tell he had all the hood's money. He was like, man, I can't do this. I have no flip.
Nah.
He look.
But when you look at Jordan up close, when you're watching him with the Dream Team,
That's how you know
felt
he
like
had
that was
money.
the coming out party where Larry and Magic had already passed the baton to Mike, and he was the best player in the game and dominating probably those pickup games. What was your first impression when you see Jordan or you're trying to guard him?
My first impression of Jordan and my lasting impression of Jordan is how much effort he put forth on the defensive end. People don't talk about that enough.
They don't,
You know,
bro.
you get on Facebook and it shows his dunks and his offensive
They don't.
plays, but
'Cause when I was
you gotta
watching his
remember,
highlights,
I think he was first
did not
team
know.
all defensive
He
team.
was like that on defense.
8, 10, 12 years. I mean, people don't stress that enough. And,
They don't, bro.
Michael Jordan was the greatest defender also. And look at the effort Kobe Bryant put forth on the defensive end. And that's where the differences are made.
Yeah.
The
That's why I
little
really
things in the
respect
game
MJ
that
too,
make a
because he
huge
played
difference.
on both ends.
Playing defense hard,
Like,
playing defense the right way.
So let's start with this.
That's tough.
So when you broke into the league, Michael was retired. Then he came back. Do you remember? Because a lot of people, Penny, thought you had a lot of Michael Jordan. A lot in your game, very vertical, could handle the ball, could drive to the basket, could play above the rim, could shoot a jumper. Do you remember your first meeting with MJ?
Yes, I do. I remember that I was hearing rumblings about him coming back, and the game that he came back, I think it was at Indiana, and I got super excited because I hated that he was retiring when I was coming into the league, and then he came back. I was like, now I'm going to get an opportunity to play against who I thought was the greatest player of all time, and to see how I could test my skills against him. And the first game that we played against him, I felt like I had to get my respect in that game. And I think we beat them. I had like 36 points.
36?
At Orlando.
Now, so
Okay,
when he
Penny.
came back that first year, people forget this. Your Magic beat those Chicago Bulls. It's as if that series never happened, Penny. It just
Ooh, I
disappeared into
forgot
the
they
ether.
did.
But let's go back to that series. So Michael comes back. You actually are the kings of the East. So talk about that series. And was Michael at his best? Was he still working himself into shape? Take me back to that series.
No, Michael was not at his best. He was not the Michael Jordan that we all knew all those years when he had a rhythm. When he came back, he was rusty, and rightfully so. He changed numbers. He was wearing number 45 because of his baseball number. And then he changed to number 23 in game 2 and played a better game, but you could just tell he was very rusty. He did not like the new arena. He was the old Chicago Stadium guy. He had never – the United Center was not his type of a building when he first came back. He was having problems shooting the ball off the glass. He didn't like the rims. He didn't like
A lot
the
of
bigger
adjustments
arena.
he had to,
It was like a lot of things that were like
get used to.
and a factor for us, for sure, that were just, he wasn't himself, and we had all those things working against us.
So they took
working
advantage of
against
that.
them and helping
Okay.
us. and working for
Makes
us.
sense on why they
we
beat
beat them
them.
in that series.
Now, it's funny. Then the following year, Michael's back to being Michael. He's now not in baseball shape. He's in basketball shape. So when you look at your games against him, when he was back to Michael and you're this fledgling young superstar, what was he like to face? Was he tougher to guard, or was he a better defender? Like, where did he give you the most trouble?
Well, everybody's saying that people are overstating things when it comes to Michael Jordan. But once he was really hurt losing that series to us, and that entire summer we were on his mind because he felt like we were the new up-and-coming guys that he was going to have to beat. He had already gone through, the Pistons and, Boston and all these guys, the Lakers. He's gone through these guys to finally get to where he really needs to get to.
He took that loss
and then
personal,
he wins 3 championships and then retires and then comes back. And this young team now is like the big dog on the block. And
Yeah, he
playing
took
in
that personal.
series the following year, he came back with a vengeance. Even though we had injuries, he was a totally different player, tougher to guard, and he was so tenacious on defense because it was more personal.
Yeah.
Michael, that was the hand check era, Penny. People always say Michael was stronger than people on TV thought. Did you sense that?
Yeah, for sure. Strong hands, big hands. And when you can hand check somebody, you definitely could push them in an area where they didn't want to go, and you'd have to fight that off and try to resist that. But, yeah, he was very strong because he started working out and getting bigger and bigger every year.
Yeah. When you watch the documentary The Last Dance, Penny Hardaway, the Memphis head basketball coach entering his 3rd year, are you learning any new things about Michael? Anything new?
I think playing golf with him since he's been retired, I kind of learned some things about him that are kind of like in The Last Dance, like a lot of the stuff. Like he came out and said a lot of people are going to think he's an asshole, because of the last Dance.
Yeah,
he's just so competitive, and he
he's
just speaks his
competitive as
mind.
hell, bro.
And Michael has a really good sense of humor, always looking for a joke or to say something. The thing that really shocked me was the Jerry Krause situation where he and Pippen were really just ragging on Jerry Krause as much as they could. That doesn't usually happen with the players in the gym.
Yeah.
Damn.
I was in the LeBron, Kobe, dunking, and I was at the tail end. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I played with these guys. Right. I've seen all the 3-point balls go up. They can't. Jordan, no way. Jordan averaged 50.
You believe
He
Jordan
said
would
Jordan
average
averaged
50?
50.
It was
I
funny.
think
I
he
was
averaged
talking to
50
James
too.
Worthy, not the name drop on you, Scott,
That's all right.
but I was talking to name of James Worthy, and he was like, "Can you believe skinny little Michael is Michael Jordan?" And I was like, "Yeah," because I'd been around since 1982, and to see him
33.4 points per
become
game in the playoffs.
what everybody models themselves after.
Damn.
And I'd gone years of saying, "Oh, he was the best in the '90s." Dr. J, Oscar Robertson. I just had to admit it. I'm not going to get to do this again. He was the greatest basketball player in the NBA history.
Mentality of Kobe versus Michael Jordan in
K.
practice at the Olympics.
Legendary coach.
Is there a discrepancy? Like, is there similarities that they sort of attacked when they came in, that practice was a game to them?
No, I think they're probably two of the most similar great players in the history of our game. I mean, and one, they really, they were just super talented, but they were also incredibly prepared. And I don't think anybody was any more competitive than those two guys. So they were that all the time. That was their personality. And when they were on the court and it meant something in practice or in a game, they were all business. They wanted to be great, not good.
You know, the crazy thing is, if you compare Michael Jordan to LeBron James, and you hear NBA legends talking about LeBron, and you hear NBA legends talking about Jordan, even if you're not a Michael Jordan fan, and this is just my personal opinion, but the fear that people mention when they talk about Michael Jordan, I never heard that of any legend talking about LeBron James. They all say that he's great, he's super smart, and all this kind of things, which I totally give him. but nobody was afraid
people was
of LeBron. You have the
feared
feeling that people were
by
calling,
MJ, bro.
calling him sick when they had to play against MJ. And I
that's crazy,
actually
though.
know from some players that I spoke to that this was actually a real thing. Some players did that, just like Ronnie Cycli had the Shakitis virus, so to speak. Anyway, that is always something that
people
I
fear
always
Michael,
found
bro. I
very
ain't gonna
interesting,
lie.
the
Calling
fear
out
factor
games and stuff
about
like
Michael
that, that's
Jordan.
OD,
But hey,
bro.
let's listen to
How
more stories.
effective would Jordan's mid-range game be in this era of basketball?
Jordan's mid-range in this era?
Oh, that's
Man,
automatic.
let me tell you something. Players always make the adjustment. He averaged 30, 32, 35.
In the handshake era.
Man, come on.
He would
Jordan
average 50.
more points. And in an era where we shot more threes, who can forget that memorable finals game when Jordan made, 5, 6, 7 threes against the Trailblazers?
Yeah, he would
and
average
gave them
45,
this?
50.
I mean, people act like Jordan couldn't shoot threes. He would destroy the league now. I mean, he would be setting all-time records. There'll probably be a season he averaged 40 in this era,
I agree.
especially the way he got
Coming from
to
a
the
Bron
line.
fan, I agree.
His mid-range will be most effective.
One game that, ironically, this may sound a little bit odd, but it's probably more than any other game. That's the game I look forward to the most. Because you knew that night you had to be at your absolute best. And so if there's something, anything, a matchup or whatever, that's going to bring out the best in you, if you're a true competitor, that's what you really want. And so for me, it was the one game I look forward to more than any other game to play against him because he was
Respect, Joe
everything
DeMars.
that you just described with LeBron. I was listening to you.
Yeah.
That's about the way it is. Yeah, like
never back down.
any slip up, any lull,
Give me
any
that.
mistake that's made, you're gonna exploit it. You're gonna take advantage of it. So you had to be so keenly locked in. Game plan. Here's what we're doing. Here's where I need to be, and you would be furious if somebody didn't rotate they were supposed to because you knew, you know, look, I'm trusting that you're gonna be there. And so, because if you're not there, dude's about to do some, he's about to do something, real freaky here.
Yeah.
I mean, you witnessed it.
Yeah, I saw it. I did. But I'm just saying, I'm like, man, when people say he averaged 40, 45, I'm like 50. I'm like, man, do y'all know how many points that is?
Yeah, winner takes ball. Winner take out.
Winner takes ball.
Okay, no, that one. So
Why
would it never happen? Because Michael Jordan was all defensive first team 9 times.
Okay.
LeBron James was 5 times.
Okay.
Michael Jordan led the league.
That's longevity of
I'm
career.
going to answer your question.
Okay.
So Michael Jordan led the league in scoring 10 times. 10.
Damn.
LeBron James led the league in scoring 1.
Okay.
So I'm talking about a guy who's been the best offensive player and the best defensive player.
So it'll be Magic and the Lakers, Michael and the Bulls.
Speaking
It is
facts.
a marquee
1991, man.
This is my first time.
First championship
We can win, but it's going to be challenging.
against the Lakers. Magic and them boys. Showtime. Give me that. Stop playing with Jordan, man. They're fine. Back to him. Oh, that was the iconic reverse switch hands lay. The switch hands lay in the air. That was in the finals. I did not know that. With the tongue out. I did not know that happened in the finals versus Magic. I did not know that. Wow.
2 minutes left in overtime.
So that's when he really turned the switch on. Come here. Nice reverse layup off the glass.
Beating the Lakers at the Forum. Yes, it counts.
It's too late under the basket with Jordan attacking the way he does.
Coming up on 2 minutes.
This steal, look, bro. Showtime. Damn.
Final seconds. Magic steal contact blocked. Pippen comes away with it. And the Chicago Bulls.
That's crazy.
First ever NBA
So his first chip was versus
And Michael Jordan has answered
MJ.
a
He
couple
won.
questions.
No. I'm tripping, y'all. His first chip was won against
Led by
Magic.
Jordan, could win a championship.
Okay.
Anyone who ever questioned whether Michael Jordan was willing to give
Wow.
up and sacrifice
I did not know he
for a
won his first chip
championship was completely wrong.
versus Magic. I did not know that.
Portland and Chicago.
1992.
They were the favorites in November, and now
They meet in June.
Okay, so this
Bulls,
the
back-to-back
the
titles
second
would
championship.
certify their greatness
Okay.
and earn them a place in the NBA's pantheon of all-time best teams.
And this is against Portland. Clyde Drexler and them boys. Hand down, man down. What a hand at? Put a hand up. Damn, what is y'all doing? Wide open in the corner? Again? Put a hand up. Boom! Come here. Again? Put a hand up.
That's his fourth three-point
They let him shoot. You know, he's supposed to be face guard, man. What is y'all doing?
Finals record. 5 3-pointers in a half.
3 points in half. He was going crazy. Come here. 32 on them boys. Where y'all at? Boom! Oh, that's the famous shrug. Okay. Okay. So that was in 92 versus the Trailblazers. Okay. Now I'm starting to understand where the background of all these different moments coming from. Okay. Wow. So the second chip was versus the Trailblazers. The first one was versus Magic, and the second one was versus
Welcome
the
to the
Trailblazers.
NBA Finals.
Okay,
In the case
93.
of the Chicago Bulls,
Okay, let's see.
welcome back for the third year in a
Three-peat.
row. They seek, as you
Who
know,
is
to
this
become
against?
only the third team
Oh,
to win 3
the
NBA
Suns.
championships in succession.
Charles Barkley and them boys. Okay. The fine. Oh my God, dying.
Michael with eyes all over the place, sees the entire floor.
Come here, Jazz. Step to the lane.
Well, he certainly elevates his game here as he finishes with the right hand. Grant with the block. Jordan around Marley.
Guard him and
He's going to dunk on 2 guys. You got to get to
Damn.
Michael sooner. You know he's going to take
Help
off
came
from there,
too
elevate,
late.
and keep flying to the front of the rim. There is a
Get back to him.
7-second disparity.
Get back to him. And one, Barkley.
It would have been better for Charles to foul him all the way.
Barkley. God.
Than halfway foul.
Damn.
And Michael Jordan with 55 points.
55?
Rick Barry for the second highest total in an NBA Finals game. Pitches back to Frank Johnson.
Oh, you gotta hit that.
Rebounded by Michael Jordan. Now Frank Johnson not the man that the Suns
All the way to the rim. Y'all have to stop the
was
ball.
able to go the distance.
Damn.
To get a full head of steam, try to keep him in the middle of the floor. Well, Pippen got the snap. Here's Paxson for 3.
Cha-ching. Shot, Paxson. Good shot. Damn. 3-peat versus Barkley.
Having played against him at the time, how good was Michael Jordan on the Washington Wizards?
Pump fake Jordan?
The very same.
He said pump fake
Man,
Jordan.
pump fake Jordan was still lethal. Man, I thought I was one of them, you know, I remember my first time playing against this. I didn't get the luxury of playing. I got in the league in 98, but it became a lockout and he retired. So I was so distraught. You know what I'm saying? And she got a chance to play against him. You know what I'm saying? When they was winning championships.
It's like every time somebody talk about Jordan, they get nightmares.
I got a chance to play against Washington
They be having
Wizards
nightmares.
Jordan for the first time, and I was stoked. I was so excited and happy. And I think we ended up, did we end up beating them? We might have beat them.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
We beat them in
first time,
Chicago.
but- and he didn't have the best game, but you know, I remember the first time I was on the island with him, I was just so excited, and you know, he kind of got an angle on me, and he got the pump fake of me and get into a shot. And he still had 20-something on us, and I was just saying to myself, like, man, 87 Jordan was probably so different than 2000, and you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think it might have been 2001, 2002 Jordan.
Mhm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? You just couldn't imagine. So I was just like, man, but I was just thankful to play against him. But he wasn't as fast, but he knew how to get to his spot, and he was so deceptive, and he just knew angles. And he still killed us or whatever, but
damn,
you know, I can only
Wizards
imagine
Jordan
playing
was
against the
giving
'90s Jordan when he was really like had that pop and had that
crazy.
athleticism. It would probably been totally different.
Oh, it damn sure was. I did both. And so it damn sure was, you know, in that 95 year, my rookie year. we would have faced them in the playoffs, but when I was out there, United Center, that's when they was in their heyday, and you go in there, and they playing the music and got the banners up with all the smoke. You like, damn, this shit looked just like this on TV when I was watching this shit, you know what I'm saying? And he was a phenomenal player then, but I think he was a little bit more dangerous when he was with the Wizards. He didn't have the athleticism that we were used to seeing MJ have.
Yeah.
But I'm with Bonzi. His angles were a little bit more sharp. You wasn't going to move him. He was a strong 2-3 guard. You wasn't going to just move him lightly. And his shot became more dangerous.
Give me your best Michael Jordan story.
Michael Jordan story. You guys remember Anthony Peeler?
Yes.
Okay, so
out of Missouri, right?
Out of Missouri.
Yeah.
So we got Chicago Bulls coming in town, and unfortunately, I got a sprained ankle, and so.
Did you say fortunately?
Unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, I enjoy guarding Mike because he was, the one thing I did with Mike is I never got him pissed off. He make a shot, you say, "Good shot, Mike." You don't talk trash to him so he can go off for 60.
Facts.
You try to kill him with kindness.
Yeah.
You don't try to talk trash to him. So they're getting off the bus. We're done with shoot around, and we're walking out, and MJ says, "B. Scott, what's going on?" I said, "What's up, MJ?" He said, "Man, I hear that you're not playing tonight." I said, "No, I sprained my ankle." He said, "Who's guarding me?" I said, "Anthony Peeler." He said, "Oh, 50.
50?
So I told Anthony Peeler, "Listen, MJ, he's probably going to go for about 50 tonight on you. So just don't piss him off. Just be cool." He ended up with 54.
Damn.
So the man could do basically whatever he wanted to do on that basketball court.
How many times did you face the Bulls when they had Jordan, Pippen, and Rodman?
I don't know the number of games off the top of my head, but I'll tell you this. My career was 1990 to 2000. I was in the Eastern Conference for a good part of that. They won 6 titles during that time.
Oh, damn.
I saw more than my share of those guys. And to this day,
he's seen
one of the most intimidating things you faced as a player. They were the only team I ever played against in the NBA that pressed after free throws and got away with it. When you got Rodman, Pippen, Jordan, Ron Harper picking you up in the backcourt in a 1-2-1-1 trap with that kind of length, it was amazing to see point guards sort of just run up the floor and way back. You're like, yeah, get it, legs. You got it. Bring it up. Because
turnover
that first pass in the deep corner, and you turn and you got Rodman running at you with Scottie Pippen, and it was like an eclipse.
Damn.
So yeah, I saw more than my share, and to this day, that's the greatest defensive team that I ever played against. But I think that's the best defensive team I've ever seen to this day. Were those mid-'90s Bulls teams.
But the best defender out of that group was who?
Scottie Pippen. I think Scottie Pippen is the best defensive player, maybe outside of Bill Russell. And again, a guy I didn't see play, but obviously different roles. Scottie Pippen's the best defender I've ever seen because he was not only the best individual defender, he was the best team help defender as well. The ground he covered, his IQ, his communication, his instincts, combined with 6'8" fingertips touching both sidelines, kind of a nightmare. You came off screens. I played against him. He'd switch. Jordan be on me. They'd switch on the baseline and come off a down screen. I knew I had enough separation to get a clean shot off because I'd done it a million times in my life. Catch, turn, pivot, turn, left shoulder, go to square up, and all of a sudden this arm would come out of nowhere. And now you're going up and you're having to make a pass in midair. That was the recover ability of Scottie Pippen. He was special, one of a kind in the way that he covered ground out there.
You ever make Jordan mad?
Yes, I did, because Jordan loved to gamble defensively. And so he would turn his head around. Gamble. Yeah, he did. That's why I threw defensively in there, because there's another level of gambling Michael likes as well. But he was the kind of guy that, he'd be guarding me. And obviously I wasn't going to do a ton off the dribble against a guy like that. So he knew kind of I was going to spot up and wait. He loved to turn his head, and he loved to rake down in the post, try to go get Chris Webber, Juwan Howard, Rasheed Wallace, get those guys from behind when they'd make a move to the middle. I would relocate. Ball would come out, get some space. So, yes, I remember a game which I hit a couple of threes because he turned his head and left me. And I remember after the second or third one, running down a court and Michael saying to me on the way down a court, well, that's it for you. I'm
Damn.
not leaving you again. And it's pretty much like the equivalent of, I guess, the water company shutting your main off. Like your water is shut off.
I've ever seen.
Damn.
I believe he's the best player I'll ever see. I believe he'll be the best player a million years from now. I really believe that. I believe he is the best ever.
Start with Michael Jordan. I mean, obviously, look, he's going to have some success against everybody. But as we watch some highlights here, take us through what's the approach? What are you trying to do? What are you thinking about with Michael Jordan across the way?
Well, first of all, I'm really nervous about these highlights because those are the three of the best players in the history of the game. But Michael Jordan, I did guard him a little bit when I was in Detroit. And, of course, I guarded Scottie a lot. But he was so efficient, was able to get what he wanted. And he did most of his domination was in that mid-post area. So he got the shot that he wanted, whether it was from mid-range.
Can we show some misses?
I mean,
Michael working you over in them highlights.
I mean, yeah, they didn't get me. I got him on the other end, you know what I'm saying? But Michael was so great, and what I loved about Michael, he just was efficient. He got the shot he wanted. Whatever you threw at him, he had a counter. He really didn't have a weakness in the mid-post and in the mid-range.
I really like Michael Jordan.
Wow.
He and I are friendly. And he never changes. He just doesn't change. He's the same guy all the time. And I still see him every once in a while. And this guy has done more spectacular things than any basketball player I've ever seen.
I agree.
I mean,
that's Jerry. That is saying a lot. I agree.
I've ever seen.
You've seen a lot. I know. I mean, just to go, like I said, we've worked backwards, obviously, from where he is now to where you were as a player. That speaks volumes. Especially, I mean, number of years with the Lakers, player, visor. I mean,
you know, Terrell, the thing that people don't realize is some of the stuff he could do. He was the best defensive.
When did you know that Michael Jordan was better than you?
You got Jerry West saying you like that? That's tough.
Well, I was, in his documentary, I say that, I was better than Michael Jordan for about 3 weeks. It took about 3 weeks for him to, because he always thought out the best, whether it was backgammon, chess, cards. He wanted to know who the best was. So I saw him, come in. And one of the things I think is missing is that you don't have these college coaches anymore that are ripping your egos away immediately. You're going to be a part of this team. And Michael bought into that. And with his talent, Coach Smith just elevated. I tease him a lot, though. He couldn't win another one without me. But I knew he was because he was a late bloomer, Dan. He really had a lot of talent, and then it just surged as he kept growing and getting older in the NBA.
But that's tough because you're the college player of the year, right?
Yeah. Along with Ralph Sampson. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, Mike comes in, and you go, okay. And then all of a sudden, you go, damn. Okay.
Yeah. I knew he saved us. I knew it was right around the ACC tournament. He started to really, make himself known against Virginia and some of those guys, Lee Raker and Jeff Lamb, those guys. Michael hit some big shots, okay? You go back and look at that game. When you look at the Georgetown game, we were kind of, losing a little bit. He hit a big left-hand shot over Ewan, one from the corner. And then, of course, the big shot he hit in Georgetown. I had to be the decoy, of course. That's why he was wide open. But yeah, I knew he had it, man.
Clutch, man.
The Bulls are on the verge not just of a championship,
Is this the start of the other three
completion of one of the golden seasons in the history of American team sports. They haven't been able to.
Okay, they play the Supersonics right here. Sean Kipp and the boys. Ooh, good shot.
Jump shot.
Ooh, look at that fade.
Yes. Inside.
He hung in the air. Man, that's on Gary Payton.
Feeling it right now like nobody can cover him.
Off the mark, badly missed. Rebound.
The outlet pass.
Goes to the hole.
Showtime.
Jordan climbs into the air and taps it down with the right hand.
That fourth chip, boy. Outlet. Good God. Behind the back.
To collect himself from behind his back. A spectacular Michael Jordan play.
First layup. Can't stop that man, man.
7-year-old Jeffrey Jordan holding up the Happy Father's Day dad.
On Father's Day?
We're in the final second.
He won his 4th chip on Father's Day?
The 96 NBA championship. An emotional moment for Michael Jordan. I would think there is a tie-in with his late dad on this Father's Day.
I can't even put it in words. On Father's Day, what it means to me. I know he's watching. To my wife, and to my kids, and to my mother, my brothers and sisters. This is for Daddy. I'm very happy for him.
Wow, I did not know he won this 4th chip on Father's Day. 1997.
This is the 5th time we're going to make it 5 out of 5.
This versus Utah. He always busted Utah ass. What you reaching for? Oh, why you took that gamble? Good shot, though. Ooh. I know Utah hate MJ, boy.
I talked to him, I said, how do you feel? He said, I really feel horrible. But his history in games where he's either been hurt or sick.
Oh, it's the flu game right here.
Bad news for the opponent.
And the steal.
Good steal.
Behind the back on Russell. He turned it around and fed it to Pippen. By Michael Jordan.
Oh my God. Good fast kick, man. With the J, knocked down.
You can see how exhausted Michael Jordan is. He won't even
Respect,
take the
man.
Gatorade.
He doesn't want to waste any
Respect,
energy.
I done had
No
the flu
high
before, so like I
fives,
was
no
about
lifting
to
water
die.
to his mouth. He is exhausted.
The fact that he out there going crazy like this is impressive. Damn. Good knockdown.
A courageous, classic performance by the flu-ridden Michael Jordan.
Like my boy about
A
to
performance
pass
that I
out.
think will go down as one of the greatest of his
He don't even know
career
where he
because
at.
of the situation. It is Michael Jordan time. Checks the
Go get it.
5 on the 24. Here's Jordan. Did not have the shot.
Brody, trust your teammate. Ooh, that's his 5th chip. That's his 5th one. Ooh.
He was just one of those players that just didn't have any weaknesses in his game.
Damn.
You know, when he first probably came in the league, you know, everybody talking about he wasn't a good outside shooter. He became a good outside shooter. Everybody talked about he couldn't shoot the 3-point shot. He became a decent 3-point shooter. You know, down low. Didn't have a post-up game, develop a post-up game. They say he wasn't
his
truly a good
mid-range
ball
game
handler.
is
Became a good ball
lethal.
handler. Defensively, he was just incredible on that end of the court. And so, but he's probably,
his defense
I think
is underrated,
what
bro.
separated him from everybody is that his mind. You know what I mean? He was probably one of the most, I want to say, well, not brilliant, but probably one of the most intellectual basketball players that I didn't play against. You know, he's always thinking the game. He's always thinking ahead, and you could just see. And his mind is always working. You know what I mean? And I would say this: he probably was the best fundamentally sound superstar that I didn't played against. You know, from the standpoint of
Bro, this
he didn't do a
is
lot. He
crazy.
just got the spots.
The footage
on the
that I'm
court.
watching
You
right
know
now
what I
is
mean?
crazy.
Just like a surgeon. He just get over here. I want to get a shot there. I'm pump fake you. Take 1 or 2 dribbles.
Look
I'm
at
get to
this.
that spot. You know what I mean? And so
this looks easy to him.
You never see him, hardly see him take a bad shot.
And Smitty can attest to this. We had to guard him, 35 to 40 minutes a game. And he was the Shaq of shooting guards because there's no way you were going to move him off the post. He was cat quick, and on top of that, he was going to embarrass you in front of your family and friends.
Fade to the right.
So having said
And
all
one.
that, if I'm starting a franchise, not only do I want to put people in the seats, because Michael will do that, but his skill level was so far ahead of everyone else. I'm going with MJ.
You just mentioned MJ, and MJ has, often called you like one of the toughest shooting guards he had to defend. What was it like going against MJ?
First time seeing, I watched him in college, but I was in JUCO at the time, but first time actually seeing him live in front of you, he was cat quick. And,
Really?
Yeah.
At that size?
He was cat quick, and he had the ability to take one dribble and you try to get there, and he was in the air already.
Damn.
So, you know, you had to do a lot of freaking film work on him because he had every move.
Right.
And he can get by you with one step, and once he get by you, he's taking flight. But one thing, you know he was gonna come at you each and every night.
Every night.
And you know, Kobe had that same thing that, you know, and I think all the great ones have it, that they're thirsty to score. Like, you know, it's like, I gotta get it. You know, I gotta get that bucket. And the defenders be like, God damn, this dude is crazy. You know what I mean? You gotta have that mentality.
There's been a lot of debate about, you know, who's the greatest of all time. Obviously, a lot of people, they just overlook what Kobe has done. And, you know, obviously LeBron is great in his own right. Do you consider MJ the GOAT?
Of course.
Absolutely.
Of course, yeah. I mean, I went up against him each and every night.
Right.
You know what I mean? So.
And then you played with Kobe at the Lakers.
I played with Kobe, and Kobe was, I mean, he's in that level, no question about it. But Mike changed the game in so many other ways, not only on the court.
You know, I started watching NBA basketball, I would say, around 1992. And Jordan was the first player that I even had heard of. It was the first player that I actually saw play on an NBA team. And for me, it's super hard to even explain how much that human being means to me, because he had such a huge impact on my life. And I'm not only talking about basketball, but just the mindset of working hard, getting better, always improving, never being satisfied. I really took that to heart. What I saw of Michael Jordan in the basketball court, it helped me become a more successful person in life. And it started with watching Jordan games, buying Jordan's VHS tapes. For example, Michael Jordan Airtime is still my favorite NBA VHS tape of all time. It turned into buying NBA trading cards like crazy. Like back in the days when I was a kid, I used to get money to buy breakfast in school, but I never bought breakfast. I always went to a shop, bought trading cards, starving in school, but it was totally worth it. Studying Michael Jordan's game, like that was the beautiful thing. When you didn't have internet, what I had to do was I always took the remote control on my VCR player, always rewind it, look at his footwork, and went right to the gym, or if no gym was accessible, went to the court outside and tried to emulate what I saw. All those Jordan moves, yes, I could never do them as well as MJ, obviously, but some moves I was able to pull off even in games successfully. And what I always understood was never use those moves just because they're beautiful and because they look nice, no, but because they can actually be a very good weapon to score, because nobody expects those moves. So I always understood, like from Jordan, from Larry Bird, from Magic Johnson, never do those moves just for the sake of being beautiful, but use them as a weapon, use them efficiently. So yeah, that was also another thing. Then another thing which I owe to Jordan for my entire life is all the beautiful childhood memories, like the beautiful feeling that I always had in my heart when Jordan, I knew, oh, you could see a Chicago Bulls game, you could see Jordan play, and the finals. I was man so much, and that's also the reason why probably I have this channel. Probably because I played basketball for my entire youth. Probably because I fell in love with everything that the NBA stood for back in the days. So Jordan not only was my guy, is my guy, and will always be my guy. And that's why you see so many Jordan episodes.
You too, man. Finally got through that, man. 2 hours worth of Michael Jordan footage watched by a LeBron fan, man. Y'all gotta show me some love on the like button, man. Like this video right now. The fact that I sat here for 2 hours as a LeBron fan watching Michael Jordan stories. Y'all gotta hit that like button for your boy, man. But nah, all jokes aside though, man, like I enjoyed that video, bro. That was a very great video. Obviously, I seen a few of these clips already, but it was some other clips that I haven't seen as well, some stories I haven't heard. But yeah, man, we all know Jordan is one of the GOATs, if not the greatest of all time. You know what I'm saying? He was a dog on the court. As you can see, everybody feared going against him. You even had players calling out of games. You feel? That's crazy. You calling out the game pretending that you injured just because Jordan is coming into your arena and you ain't trying to guard him? That's tough, bro. A lot of players feared him, man. A lot of people respecting him. People was even calling him God and Black Jesus. Like, them some crazy nicknames, you know what I'm saying? But, hey, man, he definitely was one of one on the court, man. Had no weaknesses, man. Coming from a LeBron fan, hey, bro. Jordan was a dog. He was a dog, bro. There's nothing else I could really say, man, you know. But like I said, man, I enjoyed that video, man. If y'all enjoyed this reaction, hit the like button for your boy, man. Hit the like button, man. My ass hurt. I've been sitting here for a minute. Please hit the like button, man. Damn, my legs falling asleep. God. But nah, comment down below any OG Hoopers y'all want me to react to next. Last but not least, subscribe, man. Salute to the OGs, man. Salute to the young boys that's watching the vid, man. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. And Young Groovy signing out. I'm going to catch y'all in the next one, man.